What's up, guys? This is Jake from P3 Gauges, working with our friends at Pickups Plus Cars to bring you our new Wrangler OBD2 gauge. I'm here with my buddy Kyle, owner of Pickups Plus Cars, and he's let us use his Jeep to show you guys our new OBD2 gauge for the Wrangler platform.
Let's not lie, it's my wife's.
Okay, your wife's. Hop in here, start up your wife's Jeep, and let's see how this thing works. Now, he did just do some insane curb crawling up onto this platform, so he's a little amped up, but I think he'll be okay on camera. So what we've got is a vent-mounted OBD2 gauge. Plugs right in your OBD2 vent, reads tons of data from the network of your vehicle, and it's gonna turn on and off automatically with your engine. Boom, we're looking at coolant temp. The gauge has two buttons on it. The right one is gonna cycle through different readouts. So we've got our coolant temp, our vehicle speed, battery voltage, RPM with a shift light, intake air temps, EGTs, ignition timing, throttle angle, 0 to 60 timer if your Jeep goes that fast, vacuum and boost if you got forced induction, and then we're back to coolant temp. Some other things this gauge does is it reads and clears powertrain codes on the fly right from that display. You can also adjust your vehicle speed from -9% up to +20% to compensate for wheels if you don't have a tune. You don't need one. You can just display your speed for your tire size right on this display. Another nice thing is that this gauge shows raw data. This is not filtered like on your dash. So if you're out wheeling, you get some mud in your radiator, by the time your coolant needle starts moving, you're already hot and you've been hot for a long time. From the factory, we have filtered data in the cluster. You've got an acceptable window for your temperature, and if that window is where your coolant is, your needle just stays basically straight up, maybe moves a little bit. Right here, we're looking at raw data, and you can also have a peak recall. So if you're out for several hours, you're not sure if it got hot at some point, you just tap the left button, and it flashes the highest value created since last time you pushed the button or since you started the vehicle. So let's say you're out in the trail, engine light pops on. You're just gonna hold both buttons. You jump into the config menu where you set everything up. We've got DTC, diagnostic trouble code. We're gonna tap the left button one time to read codes. We have no codes. But if you wanted to clear the codes, you go ahead and just hold the left button down. It says hold, and then cleared shortly after. And boom, your codes are cleared. Back on the road. No external devices needed, no phone, no laptop, no tuner, nothing like that. Let's say you want to do a 0 to 60 run. Just going to tap the right button until you get to the 0 to 60 function. And right here, so we're sitting still, it says ready. As soon as it registers any vehicle speed, you have a perfect reaction time, and it starts a timer. As soon as you hit your target speed, either being 60, 100, or you can do 60 to 130. I don't know if anyone's doing 60 to 130s in a Jeep or not, but as soon as you hit that target speed, the timer stops, and you're good to go. You've also got 60 to 0 and 100 to 0 braking timers. Again, don't know how much Jeep guys are using those, but you have it if you want to mess around out in the field with your friends or whatever. And what really sets our gauges apart is we do install them in the air vent. You still have full airflow control out of this. You can aim it however you want. You get plenty of airflow around the display, but the display is right there. So it's there when you need it and not when you don't. And if that's not enough, if you don't like having all these ducks on your dash, which I know you guys all do probably, boom, you flip it up, you've got your P3 duck right there in your vent. So we really do try to make this blend into the interior and just not be a gaudy pillar thing.
So Jake, talk to me about location. So obviously I chose to have it installed here.
Yep.
To the left, but in terms of the other dash vents,
yep,
it can literally go into any other
sure. Yeah, your OBD2 harness is about 2 feet long, and then you have a control box, and then you have about a 3 foot long ribbon display cable, real thin, real robust. So you can actually install this gauge in any of the 4 vents, or we even have some customers run an OBD2 splitter and then run 2 gauges. So maybe one is on coolant temp while another one's on RPM. They're really trying to monitor 2 things at once. But really a lot of these readouts get to the point where you kind of know where they're at and you kind of focus on one at a time. We have a nice bold readout, so at a glance you can glance down and look at it. You don't have to interpret 8 different readouts real tiny on a small screen. It's nice and bright. We also have it to where you can put it in bright or dim mode, and that could be auto dimmed based on your headlight being on or off, so that way you can see it better at night.
Nice. Also memory recall, so shut the vehicle off, is it going to pick up right where?
Nope. One of the nice things about this is it doesn't void your warranty. This is not a programmer, it's a data reading device. And it has its own internal memory, so anytime you unplug from the OBD2 port, let's say you're flashing a tune, let's say you're going to the dealer, do whatever, you can unplug it. As soon as you reconnect it, it just picks up right where you left off. It's really user-friendly. It's truly plug and play. It's a really simple system to use.
So we were talking a little bit about the other models. We've got the JK, obviously, that we did this install on.
Yep.
But the JL and the truck, the JT.
Yep.
Looking to basically build a gauge around all of those platforms. And
yep, and the way it's looking, so the guts are going to be the same on all those vents. You have a slightly different trim, but the internals have the same dimensions. So this insert is going to fit exactly in all 3 of those model vents. No problems. You'll be able to install it and use them just the same.
Battery voltage is very important, actually, on the trails. Because
you got winch, you got lights.
Yeah, winch, lights, things like that.
You can also see a peak recall, so if you got a regulator going out or something, you see a highest voltage created.
Yeah, that's a good one. What am I looking at here?
That's RPM, and you have a programmable shift light where we can set it whatever RPM you want. The whole display rapidly flashes whenever you reach that target RPM.
For you manual guys, that might be handy and something that you would enjoy. I know there are quite a few guys that like the manual transmission, Rubicons and stuff, EGTs.
So this is also a great way to monitor mods that you've done to your Jeep as well. So you throw a cold air intake on, or maybe you are forced induction.
Yep.
What are your ITs? You might not even know without having a big dash mounted scanner or a suction cup or something else that can come loose while you're driving around. Now you have it right here in your vent, there when you need it, not when you don't. And again, you get the peak recall on all functions, so you can see, maybe you make a pull or two, and then you can see what your highest IAT created is.
Love it. Yeah, really, I mean, I think you guys hit it out of the park with the cleanliness of the gauge, how it fits and functions in the rest of the aesthetic of the Jeep interior. It looks beautiful.
That is the goal. It's like there's 100 gauge companies out there, but we really try to take time to integrate them and make them look like they belong per vehicle. And so if this is something you guys think you'd be interested in, you can buy them exclusively from Pickups Plus Cars for a limited time. Check the link below. We'll have their product listing up. We're really thankful to be working with you on this and excited to get these on the market.
We appreciate it.
All right, I'm just going to wing it. I don't even know what I'm going to say.